Hey y'all, trying something a little bit different for this channel. And I'm just going to do a very quick, under 5 minute rundown of what I'm running on my gigging pedal board right now. I don't use this on every gig, but the gigs that use effects, these are the kind of useful sounds that I've found. Um, I'm not going to go into extreme detail on each pedal. I'm just going to show you basically what they do. I'm going to do that in future videos where I go through each pedal on this board and I explain all the parameters and show you all the different kind of possibilities. Make sure to like and subscribe so that future uploads like that, you don't miss them. As well, make sure to comment below if you're a horn player and you use an effect pedal that you think is amazing and I should try it out. Or if you are a guitar player, same thing, or a bass player. I also work as a bassist. If there's a sound that you really dig, you think I should explore, I will happily review those on this channel and give them a shot. I'll start just by going through my signal chain really quick. And yeah, here we go. So we've got an AMT P808 clip-on microphone that is wired into a belt pack that's providing phantom power because nothing on this board does. That's going directly to the board. The board is a Pedal Train Metro 16, fairly small board, absolutely jam-packed. I can't fit anything else on this thing. Don't ask me to try. There's a kaolin power supply underneath it. Everything's isolated. They're all on different they're all on different power channels, so there's no noise or anything like that. This is going directly into my Presonus 2626 audio interface, which is going into Logic, and there's no processing on any of these effects. Start at the beginning of the board here. The Appetizer preamp pedal has a little bit of EQ on there, some compression to get the horn signal to be a little bit less dynamic and more manageable for these effect pedals, and also, very importantly, some gain to bring it up to closer to a guitar level so that these effects respond appropriately. It's got a mute switch to kill your signal, very useful on stage, and also a parallel out if you want to send a dry signal to the board so you can mix them in. After that, we have the MXR Smart Gate, which is closed right now. You can see that by the little orange dot there. And as soon as I play, you'll hear, and you'll see that the gate opens, the light goes off, and it lets sound through. This is really important for preventing unwanted feedback or noise from the stage getting through your signal chain. With these two effect pedals, the Appetizer and the MXR Smart Gate, if you want to be using this stuff live, you need to have something with this kind of basic functionality helping you out. This could also be a volume pedal. There's different ways to approach that. Coming out of the Smart Gate, we're going into an MXR Poly Blue Octave, which has, in addition to 1 and 2 octaves up, 1 and 2 octaves down, it's got some rotary style organ modulation. It has an MXR Phase 90 phaser built into it in monophonic mode, and it also has some fuzz. So let's just show you some of the quick sounds I dig with this. First one is just dry octaves, a little bit of the upper 2 octaves, a little bit of the lower 2 octaves, not too much. Dry signal on full, and this is with no fuzz, no modulation. So you can hear that's a kind of a good sound if you're, if I'm the only horn player in a cover band and I'm trying to make myself sound like a section, I might do that plus a little bit of reverb to kind of fill in that spectrum. Again, it's not just an octave pedal. If you want to play around with a little bit of modulation, there is a rotary style, like B3 Leslie kind of sound here when I turn that modulation up in polyphonic mode. That kind of rotary little vibrato you hear with it at about 12 o'clock. Fun sound to play around with. I really dig that. Add a little fuzz to that. either by tapping that, or I can also access it with that foot switch, which is cool. Here is a little bit of fuzz with the modulation, the rotary modulation. You can also use the fuzz without the modulation. I won't show that to you now, but cool. You hear that little vibrato in there. Neat. Let's turn off the fuzz. Let's go to monophonic mode. Now the rotary effect is a phaser, again with the octaves. Definitely a subtle kind of phasing effect, but pretty cool. Let's add in some fuzz to the phaser. Wow, that got real all of a sudden. Lots of fun when you add the fuzz with the filter. Yeah, just some of the settings I found kind of useful with that MXR Poly Blue Octave. Seamoon Funk Machine. I cannot go without this pedal on my board. It's the coolest sounding envelope filter I think that's out there for horns. Here. Super vintage, analog envelope filter sound, classic. So many applications for that. Next is a CryBaby wah. Sometimes I like to control my wah instead of with my dynamics. I like to control it with, with my foot, right? So here's a little bit of the CryBaby wah by itself. I'll have to play one-handed trombone here because normally it's with the foot. So you can hear that filter opening and closing when I press that down to various effects. Very expressive kind of pedal to work with. Works really great in combination with the next pedal, which is right over here, the Sonicake Blue Screamer, which I think is a Tube Screamer copy. Anagrams at work here. And it's overdrive, which I find often is more useful and controllable than fuzz for wind instruments. So here goes a little bit of the Blue Screamer. Sounds super cool in combination with some octaves. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And sounds extra cool with the wah pedal. So here it is, a little bit of overdrive with wah. So you can definitely hear the possibilities there. Very vocal, very growly, super cool. Coming out of that, I'm going into my TC Spark Mini, which is a simple boost pedal. Sometimes you just got to cut through the mix with an extra 5, 10 dB, maybe not that much, especially with your if you're with a loud band. Here's the Spark Mini. That's probably the only like indispensable effect on the board. Sometimes you just got to be louder than the guitar amp, and that lets you do it if you need to. Going out of that, I'm going into the EHX Deep Freeze, which is a sustain pedal. It's got momentary and latching modes, super useful. You can use this to sustain a single pitch in momentary mode for as long as you're holding down the switch. Sounds slightly synthetic, but that's okay. I'm not going for a naturalistic sound in those things. If you are, there's probably other effects that'll work better for you. I also like the latching mode if you want to build chords. Pretty fun, right? To just set up a chord there and to improvise over it, with another effect maybe. Yeah, useful stuff. Moving on, we go into the Sonicake Levitate, which is a delay. So repeats your signal. It's got a tap function in there too, which is useful for matching tempo to the song. And it's also got a reverb setting, a spring reverb that sounds pretty good. Kind of a basic reverb pedal, but I don't use a lot of that on gigs. So, and that's it. Goes from there into my DAW, and that's what you hear. So, quick rundown of the pedal board. Again, I'll go into more depth on each of these pedals in coming weeks. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more content like this. And of course, comment below if there's any effects, any pedals that you're really, really digging the sound of and you want me to try out on trombone. The weirder the better, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, have a great day. See you next time.